So in this day and age, visual appearance is so important to a lot of people. And in certain fields, in certain work fields, it's also very important. So, you know, I'm like a high school girl when I'm getting ready for work, because I want to be taken seriously and I want people to take me serious. So I'll stand in front of the mirror and I will make sure everything looks tight and right. I'll have a straight gig line. If you don't know what a gig line is, your buttons line up perfectly with your belt, line up perfectly with your zipper. Everything lines up perfectly. That is a straight gig line, and that is super important. My friends that are prior military and that are current retired law enforcement, you guys know what a gig line is. You know, that's one of the key things, you know, to look at. Even when I was interviewing people for other jobs, when I worked at the airport or whatever, you know, like that was one of the things I looked at. Is somebody came in looking like a soup sandwich, which, for those of you that don't know that expression, you can imagine dunking a sandwich into soup, soggy and ugly looking. Same thing comes into, you know, perspective when you're getting dressed and, you know, somebody's visual appearance isn't the greatest. Soup sandwich. It's important. So, you know, because I'll look in the mirror and I'll make sure everything's tight and right, everything's in its place, you know, everything on my uniform is where it's supposed to be. Because when I look in that mirror, I'm looking at what everybody else sees. What I see is what everybody else sees, and that's important, because you want to be taken seriously, and you want and you want people to take you seriously when you're conducting business with them, or you know, conversating with somebody, or whatever the case is. Visual appearance is important, and you know, I mean, it's easy and it doesn't cost anything, and I think more people need to be more aware of it. You know, some people will spend 2 hours getting ready to go out on a Saturday night to impress people they don't even know, but when it comes to going to work or, you know, going to a job interview, they just throw some clothes on. You know, I mean, I've literally seen people show up to interviews in pajama pants, you know, and that's like, I don't want you working for me looking like that. You know, even if it's in a job that doesn't require you to wear a uniform, you still need to be presentable and be visual. And if you work with the public, that's even more important, because you're not obviously going to be able to be taken seriously if you don't look professional and look the part. But also comes along with that is attitude, and you need to conduct yourself in a way that people will take you serious as well. Use proper English, use proper wording, your body language, your body stance. You know, it's all key factors into having somebody take you serious. And what also comes into that too, and it comes to mind, I saw a meme on Facebook, and in it, you know, as stupid as it sounds, I saw a meme on Facebook, but it's the truth. The name on your badge represents who you work for, but the name on your name tag represents your heritage, your family, right? Or subphrasing, you know, not verbatim, word for word, something similar to that. And it's the truth. You know, you want to represent the company you work for, and you want to represent your family, your name, your heritage in a positive manner. And I've said before in one of my other videos, when I was younger, my family is probably pretty ashamed of me because of how I used to act and how much of a knucklehead I used to be. But now, I think my old man's looking down on me from heaven, and he's shaking his head in acceptance, and he's proud of me. You know, I'm 99% sure that he's looking down and he's happy. And you know, it unfortunately took me a while to figure that one out, but the lighting's kind of bad on this. Sorry, guys. It probably took me, you know, it took me a while to figure that out, but now that I'm glad that I did, because now I feel if I happen to run into the chief, or if he comes across one of my videos on social media, you know, he's probably going to be like, yeah, he looks tight and right, you know, everything's where it should be, he looks good, that's good, you know, he's proud when he looks at me in uniform, because I make sure I look the part. I make sure I look good because you need to be presentable and you need to conduct business in a way that people will respect you. You need to respect them, and even when they start getting, mouthy and acting stupid, still treat them with respect, because even though they may be acting ignorant, they still deserve respect, and that all comes along with just knowing, I guess, how to do your job in a sense, but also just having a good mindset and common sense. Cooler heads prevail, and I feel like, two people yelling at each other, you're not going to get anywhere. Simple as that. Now, if it progresses to that kind of altercation, you need to do what you need to do to stand your ground. And if you're in a authoritative position, you need to make sure that you have control of the situation, because otherwise it can get, a little sketchy, and things can progress into something that it shouldn't. But take pride in what you do, take pride in how you look, respect others, conduct yourself in a manner that, people are going to respect you and actually listen, because, if you're talking crazy and acting stupid, nobody's going to respect or listen to what you have to say. But as long as you conduct business in a manner to where you're being respectful, then people will be more susceptible to let you in and then actually listen, rather than just, whatever, I'm just going to go about doing what I want to do, type situation scenario. So yeah, maybe self-awareness wasn't the right thing, but maybe self-appearance maybe sounds better. I think that actually is the word I was looking for more so, is self-appearance and self-pride. Yeah, but that's my thoughts on that.